Welcome to SBC News.
We are on Channel 12.
This is reporter Samuel Makmore speaking.
And this is reporter Jordan Stewart. I'm speaking. Sam, what is DDT?
DDT is a colorless, tasteless, and almost odorless crystalline chemical compound. It is an insecticide used in agriculture. The United States banned the use of DDT in 1972. But some countries outside of the United States still use DDT to control mosquitoes that spread malaria. DDT and its related chemicals persist for a long time in the environment and in animal tissues. Jordan, what are the negative impacts of DDT?
DDT is a persistent chemical. It stays in the environment for many years and cannot be broken down by decomposers. It can travel long distances in the air and settle in regions far away from where it came. Sam, when was DDT discovered?
DDT has been known since 1874, when Austrian chemist Ottmar Zegler synthesized it from chloral and chlorobenzene. But it was not found to be a potent insecticide until 65 years later. Swiss chemist Paul Hermann Müller, working at GR Geigy, studied how insects absorb chemicals. He synthesized molecules that he thought would be taken up by the insects and kill them. In 1939, after 4 years of research, the 350th compound Müller tested, DDT, killed a fly. For this breakthrough and subsequent work, he received the 1948 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. DDT was an instant success against insects that carried diseases and destroyed crops. It was used extensively during World War II and 3 decades afterwards against insects that bore the pathogens for malaria and yellow fever. It is credited with saving the lives of millions of people who would have likely to die from these diseases. Jordan, how can you get infected with DDT?
Well, exposure to DDT in people likely occurs from eating foods including meat, fish, and dairy products. DDT exposure can occur by eating, breathing, or touching products contaminated with DDT. DDT can convert into DDE, also known as dichlorodiphenyl dichloroethylene, and both of it persist in body and environment. In the body, DDT convert into several breakdown products called metabolites, including the metabolite DDE. Sam, is DDT still used today?
Soon after DDT was introduced, researchers found that it has a dark side. For humans and many other animal species, it acts as an acute and chronic toxin. It is an endocrine disruptor that can impair reproduction and harm the embryo or fetus. It is also a probable carcinogen. To make matters worse, it is not biodegradable and thus can build up in animal tissues with high lipid contents. Carson's work and subsequent findings led to the restricted use of DDT, and in 1972, an outright ban on its agricultural use in the United States under the Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants. It was banned worldwide in 2004, but it is still used somewhat controversially in emergency against malaria outbreaks.
Jordan, how can DDT harm us?
Well, human health effects from DDT at low environmental doses are still unknown. Following exposures to high doses, human symptoms can include vomiting, tremors, or shakiness and seizures. Laboratory animal studies show that DDT exposure can affect the liver and reproduction. In pregnant women, DDT and DDE can occur in the fetus. DDT has also been suggested to be toxic to a range of wildlife, including birds and marine animals. And its metabolite, DDE, causes eggshell thinning of certain bird species such as bald eagle and brown pelican, leading to the declines of their population.
Before we end, we have an interview with one of our fellow teachers.
Good afternoon, Ms. Jessica.
Good afternoon.
So, Miss, what do you think about DDT?
Well, it is effective to handle the malaria outbreak, but I just think that it carries tons of disadvantages as well.
What is Miss' opinion about DDT being banned worldwide?
Well, I do agree with the decision because, as I said before, it has tons of disadvantages, and it is also carry carcinogen inside it, so very, very harmful for us and the environment as well.
What is Miss' opinion about humans using DDT to prevent malaria?
Well, despite of its effectiveness to handle the situation, but again, because of the lots of the bad side effects, I just don't think it's worth it. And I do believe there must be other options that we can go through.
What do Miss think is the best substitute for DDT?
Well, geographically speaking, that our country is a tropical country, so that means our natures really support for malaria to spread. So I think instead of waiting for the outbreak, why don't we just, try to do the preventive measures?
Such as?
It's like educating our people on how to prevent malaria to spread, like giving them some knowledge about the do and don'ts, and also maybe we can prepare them by giving anti-malarial drugs to strengthen their body in facing malaria.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching SBC News on Channel 12.
We will be back after a short ad break.
In a world where disease and crop destruction threaten lives and livelihood, one solution emerged: DDT. DDT, the wonder pesticide of its time, revolutionized agriculture and public health by effectively combating malaria and crop pests. But as its use spread, so did the unintended consequences. DDT's persistence in the environment led to bioaccumulation, harming wildlife and endangering ecosystem. Are unwanted insects invading your home? Putting your family at risk? It's time to take control with an insect. An insect is the ultimate solution to keep those pesky intruders away from your home. Our powerful formula is designed to not only repel insects, but also ensure the safety and security of your home. Say goodbye to the annoyance of crawling bugs and hello to the peace of mind. With an insect, you can rest assured knowing that your family is protected from potential harm. Don't let insects take over your sanctuary. Take actions today with an insect and reclaim your home. Keep your family safe and your home secure. An insect, your ultimate defense against unwanted intruders. Available now at your nearest retailer. Order yours today.
Hello everybody, this is Quinn.
And this is Daphne.
So today we're going to be talking about bioaccumulation and biomagnification. So Daphne, what is bioaccumulation?
Well, in my knowledge and understanding, bioaccumulation is defined as the accumulation of a substance over time in a living organism.
Oh, I don't quite understand yet. Could you please give an example of how it works?
Sure, to make it simple and easy to understand, imagine a farmer is spraying DDT on some crops. The DDT then is eaten by consumers like caterpillars or worms. Then the DDT particles will be transferred to the consumer. As we move up the trophic levels, the chemicals start to build up as these consumers are eaten by secondary consumers like birds. It is very dangerous to all living organisms, including birds in the sky, land animals like dogs, and also sea animals like fish.
Do you think that it can kill humans?
Yes, if we eat too much, or consume too much of it, because humans are the top of many food chains where the chemicals are building up.
Oh, I see. Do you have any suggestions of how we could try and control bioaccumulation?
Yeah, I think there are many ways we can help control it because we can't prevent it anymore, it already happened. So one of the examples are to avoid using toxic chemical pesticides like DDT. It may harm the environment and also us humans and the animals. Another one is to stop putting toxic substances like used motor oils in the sea. This can prevent marine animals from dying due to contaminated water. It's not only that area that gets harmed, it's also like areas far away that get harmed because of bioaccumulation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Quinn, I heard that there is a thing called biomagnification, and I heard that's quite similar to bioaccumulation, but I don't quite understand it. Can you explain?
Of course, biomagnification is the increase in concentration of a substance in an organism's body. It increases as it goes up the food chain. The concentration is measured in ppm or parts per million.
Wow. But I don't really quite understand. It sounds really complicated. Do you know an easier way to explain it for me?
Of course. Okay, so as you can see from this picture, DDT is sprayed onto water to kill mosquito larvae. DDT is a chemical pesticide used for insect control. The water will then be contaminated with around 0.00005 ppm. The tiny single-cell protease will then absorb the DDT and will contain around 0.04 ppm of DDT. A protease is a unicellular eukaryotic organism. Shrimps eat a large quantity of protease, so the shrimp will contain around 0.16 ppm, and the shrimps will be eaten by the minnows, so the minnows will contain around 0.5 ppm, and the minnows will be eaten by the cormorants, so the cormorants will contain around 26.4 ppm. As you can see from this picture, the amount of DDT builds up and increases as it goes up the food chain, from 0.00005 to 0.04 to 0.16 to 0.5 and to 26.4. Now that is an example of biomagnification. When predatory animals consume their prey, they also consume all the toxic chemicals in the prey. DDT is insoluble in water and it is non-biodegradable, which means that it can't break down. So the amount of DDT will eventually build up in the animal system through bioaccumulation, and the concentrations will increase because the organism cannot excrete or break down the chemical as quickly as it is absorbed.
That's also similar to bioaccumulation. Now I'm confused. Do you know the difference between them?
Yes, biomagnification is the increase in concentration of a substance in an organism's body as it goes up the food chain. But bioaccumulation is the accumulation of a substance in a single living organism.
Oh, now I understand. Thank you, Gwen. Do you think that biomagnification can affect us humans too?
Yeah, let's say that water is contaminated by the DDT, so the planktons will be contaminated too. Planktons are small and microscopic organisms drifting or floating in the ocean or fresh water. So let's say the planktons are eaten by some fish. So the DDT will be accumulating in the fish system, around 10 ppm of DDT to be specific, and then the fish will be eaten by a school of larger fish. So the school of larger fish may have around at least 100 ppm of DDT.
Oh, that's a lot.
And then the fish will be eaten by birds or us humans.
So what will happen if us humans will eat the fish that are contaminated by the DDT?
There are actually a lot of harmful impacts. So effects of biomagnification are linked to reproductive issues and also cancer, such as pancreatic cancer and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and also impaired lactation. It also makes us humans more prone to kidney issues, respiratory issues, heart disease, birth defects, etc.
That's really dangerous.
It's actually also harmful to the environment and also animals, especially aquatic animals. It can cause declines in population of certain species.
I never knew that bioaccumulation and biomagnification are that dangerous to us living organisms. How do you think we should prevent or control it?
We can't entirely prevent it, but we can control it. We should stop putting harmful substances into the water system. DDT is not the only harmful substance. Other substances such as used motor oil and mercury is also very harmful. We can also minimize our exposure to toxic chemicals by eating species from lower trophic levels such as shellfish, and by avoiding eating seafood harvested from more polluted waters.
I agree with you.
So yesterday I was reading an article about bioaccumulation and biomagnification of DDT in yellowfin tuna and their prey in South China Sea, but I forgot about it. Could you please jog my memory?
I think that I've also read about that article while I was doing my research about bioaccumulation. So if I'm not wrong, that article basically talks about how scientists detected DDT in yellowfin tuna and its prey in South China Sea. They found that the DDT levels are much higher in adult yellowfin tuna than in younger ones. This is proof that bioaccumulation and biomagnification is real and dangerous too.
Oh wow, I see. Thank you so much for that information.
Thank you, Queen, for showing me what you know about biomagnification.
So now we're going to be interviewing our beloved English teacher, Miss Jessica.
Jessica!
So, Miss, what do you think about bioaccumulation?
To put it in a simple way, let's say DDT has been released to the environment, and then it falls onto the ocean, and it stays on the surface of some algae that later being eaten by some fish. And let's say while in the fish period of time, the fish is consuming those algae, right? And then the DDT got into the fish system and accumulates from time to time. And then when there is time for the fish to be consumed by us, human, that's when the biomagnification occurs, right? And whatever substance that is in the fish system is very likely to be transferred to our system right now. So that's why I said it is absolutely dangerous.
So, Miss, what is the harmful impacts for bioaccumulation for the environment and us?
The harmful effect, like, let's say you consume a fish that has been, exposed by quite a large number of mercury. So the mercury will get into your system also. It can cause and lead you to mercury poisoning. And also the DDT that we talked before, like I told you that it carries carcinogen also inside. That means it transmits the carcinogen substance inside your body. And of course, I know you have to agree also that it is very harmful.
Do you think there's any way to prevent or control bioaccumulation?
Again, to prevent it, I don't have any idea, but to control it, of course, we can. As human, we hold the biggest portion of control to our environment. So how to control it is, let's say, whatever we release, whatever substance we release to our environment will eventually get back to us, right? Because it's going to be absorbed again by our environment, also the living things that we consume or inhale. Okay, so if let's say you release toxins, it will get back to your system also. Okay, so try to control what we release to the environment, try to minimize releasing such toxin substances, then I think it can play quite a role to control this bioaccumulation and biomagnification to happen.
And Miss, what is your opinion on biomagnification?
Again, biomagnification, it is very harmful.
And what are the harmful impacts of biomagnification?
Let's say a pregnant woman consume food, let's say tuna or salmon or any kind of fish. Usually it's seafood, okay? But I don't say it all comes from the seafood, but usually it is from the seafood, okay? Let's say a pregnant woman consume tuna, which has very lethal a very little amount of dangerous substances inside its system, and the pregnant woman consume it. Later on, the baby will likely to to be in danger also. The baby could be born in some part of disabilities or any kind of abnormality within the system. So that's why we don't want that to happen to our generation, right?
And Miss, again, do you think there's any way to prevent or control biomagnification?
As I told you also, again, I don't know whether we can prevent it or not, but I think it's, I don't know. I think it's very hard to prevent it, like, totally. But of course, we can control it by, again, controlling the substance that we release to our environment.
And Miss, what is the difference between bioaccumulation and biomagnification?
Bioaccumulation, like I told you before, some amount of DDT is being released to the environment and then fallen to the surface on an algae, okay? And then when the fish is eating the algae from time to time, the amount of the substance, which is the DDT, will accumulate in the fish system, right, from time to time. And then when the fish is being caught and eventually being served to our kitchen, and then we consume the fish, so those accumulation of DDT in the fish system move to our system. That's what we call by biomagnification.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome.
Please say hi. Bye.
How do you lock the bathroom door?
You don't need to. Jordan is definitely good at it.
What? You just think you can lock the door, don't you? I really need to pee. Get out! I need to pee.
Miss, what do you think about DDT?
It get absorbed, if it get absorbed to, can you cut that later? Yeah, worth it with the, because I don't think again, jeez, can you ask me again? Sorry.
Welcome to SBC News.
You're on channel.
Welcome to SBC News.
We are on Channel 12.
And this is reporter Samuel Makmur speaking.
And this is reporter Jordan Stewart Ang speaking.
Samuel speaking.
DDT and its related chemicals persist for a long time in the environment. Hello, this is reporter Samuel Makmur speaking.
And this is reporter Jordan Stewart Ang speaking.
M. Oh yeah, for Miss Marta. M. The tiny single cells will then absorb the DDT, so a large quantity of protein, and the shrimps. As you can see from this picture, the amount of DDT eventually increases and builds up as it goes up the food chain. Eventually builds up and increases as it. Hello everybody, this is Quinn. Stop, serious. It is absorbed.
Wait, what was it? DDT. Have I asked what's the difference between...
Oh, no, you haven't asked that.
Okay.
Wait, let me sneeze.
Can you sneeze?
I can't. Okay.
He locked the door.
DDT!